Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up with another video in our Keep or Purge series. Today I am using what's this called? The Simple Story, it's Simple Stories, The Simple Life collection. So very muted colours, as you can see here. A lot of like the greys, the blues, like the kind of olivey greens. There's some, I want to say it's cream, but it's more of a beige. I don't know. That sort of colour palette anyway. Very, I don't want to say dull because that has negative connotations, but it is not a bright collection. And I feel like the opposite of bright is dull. But the collection's not dull as in boring. It's dull as in it's not bright colour palette wise. When I first saw this collection, I really was drawn to it, and that's why I purchased it. So I don't have a lot. I only got the 12 by 12 collection kit, which obviously includes the sticker sheet, the foam stickers, like the title stickers, and then I also got the page pieces, and that's it for this collection. So I don't have a heap of it, but more than enough to make quite a few layouts with. Now, I had intended to make this as a challenge in the Crazy Craft Obsession Cybercrop that Cass ran back in January. But I didn't film it in time. It kind of sat on my desk for ages. The crop finished, and then I thought, well, I'm still going to film it because I've been kind of playing around and I was really happy with it. So yeah, that's the story. That's why this title is so long, I guess, is where I was going with this. So the challenge was a long title. There was other things part of the challenge as well, but the main part of the challenge was a long title, and so I decided to use a lot of the foam stickers to make my long title. So I added a few words using just regular stickers. So it says, "Thankful for my beautiful family making happy memories together." And I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It's actually a really simple layout. So I used most of the page pieces, and then I used the thicker titles. That's it. I do add a little Charms Creations charm. I know that might not mean anything to some of you because I think a lot of people who watch us are not from Australia, but Charms Creations is a local Australian small business. She makes her own embellishments out of paper and fabric, and she stitches them together, and her name is Charmaine, and she calls them charms. And anyway, I haven't used them for ages, and I thought that they would go really well with this collection, so I pulled them out. This is not quite embellished, as in I've got sort of 3 embellishment classes, but because the title's so big and heavy, it's a lot going on the page, which is unusual for me when I scrap. I've also only got 2 photos, which lately is also quite unusual. And these photos were actually taken on different days, but I decided to scrap them together because they're essentially showing the same thing. The kids jumping on the trampoline, or one of them has Danny in the picture. One picture has Danny, but the other picture is just the 2 kids. We got this trampoline actually for Addison's 2nd birthday, so we've almost had it a year, and they're loving it. I'm glad we got one. We sat on the fence for a while, but they are both loving the trampoline, so definitely a good purchase in my book. So I'm just layering the page pieces together. I did grab a couple of stickers from a sticker sheet, so that Simple Life banner I just put up was a sticker from the sticker sheet. But mostly these are the page pieces. So I've used a couple of houses, and one of the little pieces down the bottom says "Bless this home." And then you can see that love heart in the right hand corner at the top there. That is the Charms creation that I was talking about. So that's made out of paper and some hessian and some calico fabric all stitched together, and they're great. I really like them. They just add a nice bit of texture. They're a bit different to the page, and I haven't used them for ages. So I kind of looked up and I thought, oh, wait, I see that stash there. I haven't used that for ages. I'm going to add one of those to my page. So I did. I like to glue these charms down with wet glue. So this time I added some ATG tape and some wet glue, and I've stuck it down. So I just want to make sure it's definitely not coming up. And it's definitely not coming up with that combination. And then I am going to go in with some tiny word stickers and some splatters, and then I'm going to be all done with this layout. It did actually come together quite quickly because obviously that title, there's a lot going on. And so, yeah, it was simple. Now, do I like this collection? Well, yes, I do. And I feel like I'm going to be saying this in all of my videos. I don't honestly know, now that I'm kind of a fifth of the way through, maybe nearly a quarter of the way through, that I don't think I'm going to be purging many collections, and that's totally okay. I'm loving the process of touching and feeling and playing with all of my stash, and it is really solidifying to me what I like and what I look for in collections. Now, this collection I think is quite versatile for me with the type of photos that I take, because I take a lot of photos of just us at home, you know, the kids playing in the backyard and doing things, and that is sort of what this collection is all about. And so I'm definitely going to keep it. I can see it pairing well with some of the other Simple Stories collections that I have. Because obviously this colour palette is so neutral, I think it could pair well with some of the other collections that I've got. So I might try and remember to bring in some other things while I'm playing around with this, just to kind of mix it up a bit. But I do really like this collection, and it is going to stay in my stash. One of the other things I've realised so far is that I really like Simple Stories. I have to say, I know they're quite prolific in the amount of collections they bring out, but whatever designers they use, and I probably should know that, but I don't, yeah, really enjoy their style. So I can definitely see why. I think I've got the most collections in my stash is from Simple Stories, and I can see why. I also really like that I don't have to buy the whole collection. So, you know, I don't like Brads. I very rarely use them, even the adhesive ones that don't have the prongy bits. I don't really use them. They're not my thing. So I love that I don't have to buy them. I will put a caveat by saying I don't love Simple Stories ephemera all the time. But I love their sticker sheets. And so, you know, I like that I can mix and match. So I think I'm going to add some splatters. I am. So I'm coming in with some silver splatters, which goes very nicely with this collection. I think this will pair quite well with the silver. And then I'm going to be done. So I am keeping this collection. It is staying in my stash. Sorry, no purging today. And again, I'm going to warn you, there's probably not going to be a lot of purging. I really don't think, but I am going to use every collection in my stash. I'm committed. I'm going to do it. I really want to be using my things, and then working out, you know, what do I really love? Okay, so here's my close up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in for our next one, and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.